Aman, Anshika, I think that much will be enough. So all of you in that order, please complete the chapter fast because we have already read the chapter. I just want to read it so that we have a recapitulation kind of thing, and then immediately we go to the explanation of the chapter. Fine, I'll send. Don't worry, don't panic. Ranga's marriage. I'll send you the marking scheme, but don't worry. And any problem if you have in the paper, do let me know. Just message your thing to me because sometimes it flips my mind. So just messages to me. I will positively send it back. Okay, start with Akanksha. Please read the chapter, beta. Start from the beginning. Is it visible to all of you? Yeah, please read fast. Akanksha, are you there, beta? Yeah, please continue.
Chapter 3 Ranga's Marriage. Ranga, Tin's son, is one of the rare breed among the village folk. He has been in the city to pursue his studies. When he returns to his village from the city of Bangalore, the crowds mill around his house to see whether he has changed or not. His ideas about marriage are now quite different, or are they? When you see this title, you may ask, Ranga's marriage, why not Ranganatha Vivaha or Ranganatha Vijaya? Well, yes, I know I could have used some other mouth-filling one like Jagannath Vijay or Girija Kalyana, but then this is not about Jagannath's victory or Girija's wedding. It's about our own Ranga's marriage, and hence, no fancy tale. Husahali is our village. You must have heard of it. No? What a pity. It is not your fault. There is no mention of it in any geography book. Those sahibs in England writing in English probably do not know that such a place exists, and so made no mention of it. I want people to forget about it. You know how it is. They are like a sheep. One sheep walks into a pit and the rest blindly follow. When both the Sahibs in England and unknown people in geographers put it, you cannot accept the poor cartographer to put it on the map, can you? And so there's not even a shadow of our village on any map. Sorry, I started somewhere and then went off in the other direction. If the state of Mysore is to Bharatvarsha what the sweet Karika Badu is to a festive meal, then Hosahali is to Mysore state what the feeling is to the Karika Badu. What I have said is absolutely true, believe me. I'll not object to your questioning it, but I'll stick to my opinion. I'm not the only one who speaks glowingly of Hosahali. We have someone in our place, his name is Gunda Bhata. He agrees with me. He has been to quite a few places. No, not England. Even ask him whether he has been there, he says, no, Anna, I have left that to you. Running around like a fleet-feastered dog is not for me. I've seen a few places in my time though. As a matter of fact, I have
That's
some
it.
examples.
Next, next, beta.
Shall I continue?
No, the next one, beta. Next one. Thank you, Akanksha. The next roll number, please. Please be attentive. Arav Griwal, are you there, beta? I'm sure he's left. Arav Sharma. That's good. Brahmanadra. I mean, just right up to your head. I hope that's it, beta. Now next.
Yes, ma'am. Attracted by the crowd, I too went and stood in the courtyard and asked, "Why have all these people come? There's no performing monkey here." A boy, a fellow without any brains, said, loud enough for everyone to hear, "What are you doing here then?" A youngster, immature and without any manners. Thinking that all these things were now of the past, I kept quiet. Seeing so many things there, Ranga came out with a smile on his face. Had we all gone inside, the place would have turned into what people call the black hole of Calcutta. Thank God it did not. Everyone was surprised to see that Ranga was the same as he had been 6 months ago when he had first left our village. An old lady who was near him ran her hand over his chest, looked into his eyes, and said, "The Janevara is still there. He hasn't lost his caste." She went away soon after that. Ranga laughed. Once they realized that Ranga still had the same hands, legs, eyes, and nose, the crowd melted away, like a lump of sugar in a child's mouth. I continued to stand there. After everyone had gone, I asked, "How are you, Rangappa? Is everything well with you?" It was only then that Ranga noticed me. He came near me and did a namaskar respectfully, saying, "I am all right with your blessings." I must draw your attention to the aspects of Ranga's character. He knew that when it would be to his advantage to talk to someone and rightly assessed people's worth. As for his namaskar to me, he did not do it like any present day boy, with his head up towards the sun, standing stiff like a pole without any joints, jerking his body as if it was either a wand or a walking stick. Nor did he merely fold his hands. He bent low to touch my feet. "May you get married soon," I said. After exchanging a few pleasantries, I left. That afternoon, when I was resting, Ranga came to my house with a couple of oranges in his hand. A generous, considerate fellow. It would be a fine thing to have him marry, settle down, and be of service to society, I thought. For a while, we talked about this and that. Then I came to the point. "Rangappa, when do you plan to get married?" "I'm not going to get married now," he said. "Why not?" "I need to find the right girl. I know an officer who got married only 6 months ago. He's about 30 and his wife is 25, I am told. They will be able to talk lovingly to each other. Let's say I married a very young girl. She may take my words spoken in love as words spoken in anger. Recently, a troupe in Bangalore staged the play Shakuntala. There is no question of Dushyanta falling in love with Shakuntala if she were young, like the present day brides. Is there? What would have happened to Kalidasa's play? If one get married, it should be to a girl who is mature. Otherwise, one should remain a bachelor. That's why I am not marrying now. Is there any
That's
other
it.
reason?
That's it, beta. That's it.
Yes.
And I must thank you, beta. You read very well. In fact, the intonation, the pronunciation, everything, I really like it. Where it has to be punctuated, you have to stop somewhere, where you have to emphasize. Very well read. Very nice. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Next, yeah. Next one.
Is there any other reason a man should marry a girl he admires? What we have now are arranged marriages. How can one admire a girl with the milk stains on the side of her face on the other she doesn't even know? One untrue, the other a bitter boy. Exactly, Ranga. Happening. I was distressed. The boy who had me a good had this bachelor. After chatting for a little longer, Ganga left. I made up my mind right then that I would have get him married. Rama Rao's niece, a pretty girl of 11, had come to see. She was from a big home, so she knew how to cook and how. She also had a sweet voice. Both her parents were good and her uncle had come home. Ranga was just a boy for her, and since I
Beta,
had
I think your voice is cracking. If I'm not wrong, there's network issues with it.
just
Read that line. Read that line again, beta.
Ranga was just a boy for her, and she was no suitable girl for him. Since I was a visitor to Rama Rao's school, The girl was quite free with me. I completely forgot to mention her name, Ratna. It was. The very next morning, I went to their house and told Rama Rao's wife. Anything but asked. Rat- Ratna came. It was Friday, so she was wearing a grand sari. I told her to sit in my room and requested her to sing a song. I sent for Ranga. While she was singing the song Krishna Krishnamurti in front of my eyes, Ranga reached the door. He stopped not listening to the but with Ranga. Yet the light coming into the room was blocked. Ratna looked up and seeing a stranger there, abruptly stopped. Suppose your father does so, you take fight you do any part of it. Take another bite out of your how Janga's face showed disappointment when at her head moved. Ranga repeatedly glanced at her. Our eyes met, and he looked very embarrassed. No one spoke for a long while. It was coming in that stopped the singing. Let words near words. Fellow said. He would have leave, but did not make sense. How can one expect words to match actions in these days of Ratna ran by shining. While Ranga asked, who is that girl, Swami? Who is that inside? Why he wanted to know. That the he goat who had taken shelter in the temple replied, does it matter? I have vowed to eat half male or female. The lion fled the place in fear. It's like the he, I said, what does it matter to either of us who she is? I'm already married and you weren't the marrying kind.
That's it. That's it. Next one. Next page. Next, beta.
Very hopefully, he asked, she isn't married then. His voice did not betray his excitement, but I knew it was there. She was married a year ago. His face shriveled like a roasted brinjal. After a while, Ranga left, saying, I must go. I have work at home. I went to our Shastri the next morning and told him, keep everything ready to read the stars. I'll come later. I tutored him in all that I wanted him to say. I found no change in Ranga when I met him that afternoon. What's the matter? You seem to be lost in thought, I said. Nothing. Nothing's wrong. Leave me. Headache? Come, let's go and see a doctor. I have no headache. I'm my usual self. I went through the same thing when the process of choosing a girl for me was going on. But I don't think that that could be a reason for your present condition. Just stare at me. Come, let's go and see Shastri. I suggested. We will find out where Guru and Shani are favorable for you or not. Ranga accompanied me without any protest. As soon as Shastri saw me, he exclaimed, what a surprise, Shama. Haven't seen you for a long time. Shama is none other than your servant, the narrator of this tale. I got angry and shouted, what? Only this morning. Shastri completed my sentence, finished all your work and are now free to visit me. He had not done so. I would have ruined our plans, bursting like grains that are kept in the sun to dry. I was extremely careful of what I said afterward. Shastri turned to Ranga. When did the young son of our accountant clerk come home? What I can do for him? It's very rarely that he visits. Take your own paraphernalia.
Paraphernalia. Paraphernalia.
Paraphernalia. Our Rangappa seems to have something on his mind. Can you tell us what's him? Shall we put your science of astrology to the text? There was authority in my voice as I spoke to Shastri. He took out 2 sheets of paper, some cowries, and a book of palmyra leaves, saying, ours is an ancient science. Aya, there is a story to it, but I won't tell you that story now. It's not a Hari Katha which you to tell a story within a story. You may get bored. I'll tell it to you some other. Shastri moved his lips as fast as he counted on his fingers and then asked, what's your start? Ranga didn't know. Never mind. Shastri indicated with a shake of his hand. He did some more calculations before saying in a serious tone, "It's about a girl." I had been controlling my laugh all this while, but now I burst out laughing. I turned to Ranga. Exactly what I had said. "Who's that girl?" "It was your humble servant who asked the question." Shastri thought for a while before replying. "She probably has the name of something found in an ocean." "Kamla? Wait, could it
That's it.
be?"
That's it. Next. Thank you. Next one.
Yes, ma'am.
Ne-
Could it
Yeah,
be
please.
Pachi? Moss. Must it be Moss if it's not Kamla? Why not Pearl or Ratna, the precious stone? Ratna, the girl in Rama Rao's house in Ratna. Tell me, is there any chance of our negotiations bearing fruit? Definitely, he said, after thinking for some time. There was surprise on Ranga's face, and some happiness. I noticed it. But that girl is married, I said. Then I turned to him. His face had fallen. I don't know all that. There may be some other girl who is suitable. I only told you what our Shastra indicated, Shastri said. We left the place. On the way, we passed by Rama Rao's house. Ratna was standing at the door. I went in alone and came out a minute later. Surprising. The girl isn't married, it seems. Someone told me the other day that she was. What Shastri told us has turned out to be true after all. But Rangappa, I can't believe that you have been thinking of her. Swear on the name of Madhavacharya and tell me, is it true what Shastri said? I do not know whether anyone else would have been direct, Ranga admitted. There's greater truth in that Shastra than we imagine. What he said is absolutely true. Shastri was at the well when I went there that evening, I said. So, Shastri Gale, you repeated everything I had taught you without giving rise to any suspicion. What a marvelous Shastra yours is. He didn't like it at all. What are you saying? What you said to me was I could have found out myself from the Shastras. Don't forget, I developed on the hint you had given me. Tell me, is that what a decent man says? Rangappa had come the other day to invite me for dinner. What's the occasion? I asked. It's Shyama's birthday. He is 3. It's not a nice name, Shyama, I said. I am like a dark piece of oil cake. Why did you have to give the golden child of yours such a name? What a childish couple you are, Ratna and you. I know, I know. It is the English custom of naming the child after someone you like. Your wife is 8 months pregnant now. Who is there to help your mother to cook? My sister has come with her. I went there for dinner. Shama rushed to me when I walked in and put his arms round my leg. I kissed him on his cheek and placed a ring on his tiny little finger. Allow me to take leave of you, reader. I am always here, ready to serve you. You were not bored, I hope.
Good. Thank you. Okay, so this is the chapter. In fact, all of you, for the week, I'll give you the questions to write. Please do it, beta, for your sake at least. Answer these 2 questions. That is question number 1. That comment on the influence of English, the language and the way of life on Indian life as reflected in the story, and what is the narrator's attitude to English. This question, and of course, you will do the second one. Astrologers' perceptions are based more on hearsay and conjecture than what they learn from the study of the stars. Comment with reference to the story. These 2 answers, you're going to please write it down, and maybe I'll ask one of you to read out in the next class. Okay? These 2 questions you must write. Now, coming back to the chapter, let me just brief you in about it so that next class we can go line by line explanations. For the time being, let me introduce you to the person who's written it, and his name is Masti Venkatesh Iyengar, and he is from Karnataka. And you'll be surprised to know that receiving the Gyanpith Award once is the big thing. But this gentleman has won it 4 times. He has won Jnanpith Award, which is the highest award in our country for literature. He's won it not once, twice, but 4 times. And he's a typical traditional maker of Kannada literature. His work has been translated into English and it is appreciated everywhere. This particular one, you might feel that why out of context and all, why does it talk about a marriage and all? But the actual thing is, it talks about the evil system of child marriage, you can say. It talks about there is a kind of patriarchy which exists in our society where I think the young girl of 11 is never asked whether she wants to study or she wants to get married or whatever. It's the male world. And somebody else, not even the boy or the girl, but a third person decides about the future of a person. So that is also there. You see a very pokey, very interfering, very, you can say, cunning and shrewd kind of a narrator, that is Shyama, who plays on with the emotions of this boy called Ranga. And of course, coming back to Masti Venkatesh Iyengar, he takes his name from his own village, okay? Because the South Indian, these people, they have their name with their father's name as well as the village name and all that. And Masti Venkatesh Iyengar, in fact, this particular story is written in a very narrative kind of a thing. All of we have done 4 types of writing: narrative, expository, persuasive, and all that. So here it is basically narrative style of writing. In fact, descriptive also to an extent. Then he's a master storyteller, and of course he kind of, you can say, masters in short stories. In fact, and his place is like known everywhere. Until 1996 he lived. So obviously a very contemporary writer. And this particular chapter, in fact, has been translated into English, though initially it was written in Kannada language. And it talks about what you call the language, narrative of language and imperialism, which was there. It is about you can say, independence time. So what is the influence? And the theme, you can say, it depicts the rural life of a very typical Kannada village. In fact, the same flavor of writing you will experience in a gentleman called R.K. Nair and Narayanan. Have you heard his name? I hope Malgudi Days might ring a bell in your ears.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, so Malgudi Days, the way it is written, it is also one of those fictional villages, Malgudi. The same way here also he has his own Osahali. So something very typical rural life has been depicted here. And of course, he talks about the increasing influence of English and mainly Western culture and urbanization. He talks about, especially during this after independence, that immediately after it, how things were changing. Even if the Britishers left, the impact of English that was there, people feel that it is very classy, very sophisticated to speak and converse in English. People think that, you kind of have a social standing in society if you speak in English. Then the culture, of course, we have we have taken up that westernized way of living from them. In fact, nowadays you can see the influence even more, be it our attire. Attire means our clothes that we wear, the culture that we have adopted, even in fact the most important cuisines. No more Indian food, or it's like a very beautiful mixture of everything. The Western, like even I love to eat pasta, beta. It's not that we don't. Pasta is like white pasta sauce is my favorite, in fact. So the same influence. It was never like Italian, Latin, American, British. Everything has an influence on our life. So he talks about the conflict between tradition and modernity. He talks about the culture. He talks about the urbanization process, and all that has been reflected in this particular chapter. And of course, the other thing is that how a cunning storyteller, a matchmaker, you can say, has a last laugh. He is the one who dictates the life of these two people, very gullible people, especially the girl who's hardly 11 years old, and the boy who had come with all kinds of modern thoughts and everything when he joined, his village. But then it suddenly disappeared because of his own greed and all. The you can say the attraction that he had for this young girl and all that. So basically, he's trying to say that how people can have influence on your life. So these are the few things that we are going to discuss in this chapter. Of course, you are going to remember the setting of the chapter. That is the village of Hosahali. It is beautifully described that how it looks, what are the trees, plants, everything around it, the environment basically. It talks about the astrologer, the people who predict your future, and some of them might not be also right. They might be doing all kinds of fake things. They might be not very comfortable. They might be these people, in fact, influence in a different manner, and they have their own greedy or they have their own desires to be fulfilled. So, through the people, they earn their livelihood by doing all that, and that's exactly what the astrologer in Hosahali did. In fact, played on the sentiments and the emotions of Ranga, and all that we are going to notice. And please remember, just like the chapter Portrait of a Lady, we had that influence of the grandmother, what was the role of that lady and everything. Her character sketch was important. In the similar manner, the narrator's character, that is Shyama's character, is very, very important. So, in fact, you can always make short notes also. I will also send across a PDF, don't worry. It will talk about
What
the
is the
village
type
life.
of writing of this chapter?
Writing of the chapter, meaning?
Ma'am, the type of writing. Ma'am, is it narrative or what?
It's of course narrative, beta. It's of course because personal experiences have been described, and of course descriptive as well, because everything has been given in detail. Okay, so both the things happen. Fine. So narrative, primarily narrative, and with a tinge of descriptive. Fine. Okay. Now coming back to the narrator, he shows his dislike for the use of English language. He talks very high of his own village. He talks about his raw mangoes, creepers, and all. He's very quick to perceive and observe all kinds of things that goes on in the mind of the people. He is very cunning, you can say. More than cunning, he's shrewd. He knows exactly where his toast is buttered and all that. And of course, the character of Ranga, which is also important. But for you guys, for the assignment bit of it, please remember question number 1 and question number 2. All of you, please, you must write it and get it. Next week, I will ask you to read it out in the class. Okay? And now, immediately after the class, I'm going to send you the marking scheme. Please match it with your answers. If you see that I have not given you marks or by mistake I have left it out, something, any issues that you find, do write to me on my personal number. Yeah, just maybe you can put a picture and put it there. I will immediately correct it. Okay? Okay. Okay, on that note, let's wind up today's class. Next class, line by line explanation I will do, and we'll wind up this chapter. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.